Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing another Plan With Me video for the November 2019 monthly planner week 3. Today I'm going to be using stickers from a different kit collection. I'm using these ones from the Let It Snow collection. I have all 3 kits. I have the monthly kit, the bullet journal kit, and the standard kit that I'm going to be using for this spread. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is bring in some background stickers for the header. So I'm going to start with this lighter color and I'm going to size it down, and then I'm going to crop it a little bit because it's a little bit too long for this space. So I'm going to crop it and resize it before I copy and paste it again. So I don't have to resize the second one. I can just easily move it over to the right spot. And then that part's done. And then I know I want to do some layering on this spread. So I'm going to bring over these flowers that I want to be in the background, but I'm not going to use them yet. This way I don't have to deal with like the copying or cutting and pasting because things aren't layering the way I want. Then I like to use the highlighter to create dividers on this spread so it sections it off a little bit better. And then I highlight the week as well. And I have my highlighter set to stay straight. So that I don't have to like do a perfect line. It'll just straighten it out for me. And then I'm going to bring over the little flags from the monthly kit. I already had put in the colors before this video from the bullet journal kit, so you can get the color codes to match. And I already did that before filming, so you guys don't have to watch me do that. That's where I got the pink for that highlighter color. And then I'm just kind of whiting out the edges of the circles so they don't peek through on my little flags. I probably went a little overboard on this. You don't need to like go and do this much. Like you could really just do like the bottom because it comes up a little bit on those flags and then you can see the black. But I went like all the way around, and it actually kind of annoyed me after because I had little white spots peeking through on the sides and that drove me nuts. And then I do it all together. This is like an easy trick for things you want to be the same size. If you copy and paste them together and resize them all at the same time, then you don't have to like try to get them all the same size. It's easy to do it this way. And now I'm just going to go ahead and like place these all down. I love the little flags. They're from the monthly kit. I think they're really cute. And then I'm also going to show you how you can make the weekend, when the weekend dates are combined, like on this spread you have both days in one little box. And so I bring over, that's why we have like the little empty flag in the kit. You can bring it over, and then so I messed up on this a couple times, so I cut through all the mistakes I was making so you guys didn't have to watch me just mess this up a bunch. But all you do is resize those together and then paste them over the top of that blank one, and then I use my pen to draw a white line through it. And then I'm just adjusting really quick the highlighter to make it more even with the text on a couple of those lines and get rid of some of the like stuff that's just poking over that's bugging me. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and bring over this November header, and I realized after I pasted it that I need to white out the actual November that's already in there or it will peek through over the top. So I just kind of cut it. If you cut it instead of delete it, then you can repaste it back down in the same size that it was, so you don't have to like start over. So I just went ahead and did that, and then because I just think that one's cuter, I don't know. Now I'm going to start on my to-do list. I started using like a master to-do list on the side of my planner because one, I think it looks cute, and two, it's just easier because I don't have to necessarily like put it on a specific day. I just have like a master to-do list for the week that I can refer to. And I kind of split it up a little bit. So like most of the tasks that I need to get done, I do most of my work on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, I don't usually have as much in the weekend. So I kind of split it up that way. And so I'm using one of those long check boxes from the monthly kit to start that. And then I want to layer in this little box here that I'm going to use as like a menu tracker for the week. And I want this one to sit on top. So I just quickly cut it and repasted it so that it will sit on top, because GoodNotes doesn't let you relayer, but whatever you pasted last will always be on top, which is why I put those flowers down in the beginning, because I know I want those to kind of be peeking out underneath this. And I'm going to bring in one of the water trackers. I've really enjoyed using the water trackers from the monthly kits. So I'm going to bring one in for each day. And then I'm going to resize these flowers and kind of reposition them. I know that like once I'm done, they're going to like sink to the back. So I'm kind of trying to figure out where I want them, because I just want them to peek through kind of right there. And then now I'm going to bring over like these little, I just love the monthly kit so much, you guys. I love these little headers that they have, like there's 8 of them and they all have something different. This one's the on the menu one that I'm going to use to keep track of the meals this week. And then I also want this get it done one for the like the to-do list that I'm going to use for the long box, and I just want to kind of make it the same size so the whole thing looks like it flows together. And then I always put like this little schedule header. You've seen me use it in like previous videos. I always put this in. I just think it looks cute. So I'm going to copy this a bunch of times so that there's one for every day, every weekday. Even though I'm not 100% sure like where I'm putting them on all of the days, I'm just kind of filling them in. And then I need another water tracker for Tuesday. I'm kind of just fiddling with things because I can be really picky about where my stickers are placed. And then I originally brought in the same flower that I had up above, and then I didn't like it. So I do end up eventually, or I guess right now I go get this other, I forgot that there was a whole second bouquet in this kit. Most of my kits include at least one bouquet. Not all of them, but most of them do. But periodically I'll have one that has a second bouquet, like this one. And then I don't really need so much on my sidebars, so I always bring in a full box over this bottom box because I don't need it. And then I white out the little part that comes up over the top. And I think it just looks cuter that way. And then I want to layer over these flowers this little fox because I think he's cute. And then bring in another water tracker. I always copy and paste things so they look the same size, and it's easier than going back to your sticker kit and finding it and then redoing it when it's just there. And then I'm going to bring in these little what are they called? Bow checklists. I always make my bow checklists like really skinny, and I make a lot of them because I have like huge to-do lists. So I'm going to show you how you can make this longer. You pretty much make it whatever size you want because you can crop it down in GoodNotes, or you can layer them on top of each other like I'm doing here. So instead of going through the work of cropping this one, I just moved it up And you can see me kind of aligning the bows so that they all look evenly spaced. This way it looks like one long bow checklist, which I love. Just making sure they're all lined up. And then I use that to keep track of, I use the check, like the little box in the middle to keep track of my like work to-dos, and then I use the little to-do box on the side to keep track of like household to-dos, things that have to do with my kids, stuff like that. That way it's like more organized and I can see everything kind of compartmentalized, because I only work for certain hours and the rest of the time I'm doing stuff with my family. And then I brought in some washi tape to fill in on the sides. And I thought this looked so cute. I hadn't done it before. And I felt like I needed something there for some reason. And I loved having the little gold polka dots. I thought they would turn out so, so cute. I was so happy with it. And then when you come down here, you just have to crop it to make it a little bit smaller. Because if you resize it, it will squish the dots and it won't look the same, which will bug me. I'm just making sure. I always go a little bit less, I crop it a little less than I think I need to first, so that I don't go too far and have to undo. And then if I need to crop it again, I will. And then I loved these little quotes, the dream plan do one. I just think is so cute. So I wanted to put it in here because I don't usually need like a huge note section, since I use the like notes for each week in the planner. But so I wanted to fill something in there. And then I'm just bringing more of those little headers that I'm going to fill in. They'll say schedule when I actually write them. And then I brought in another one of those flower bouquets, and I'm going to layer it with this lantern, just because I don't have really anything going on Thursday. So I have like this huge space in this that I was kind of like, I don't know what to do with. So I put in some deco to fill it in. And I kind of played around with like the sizing for a minute to make sure it worked and filled it in the way I wanted. I think I go back to this like a couple times. And then more water trackers, of course. Always zoom out and take a second to look at it to see like where I need more things, like what needs to be filled in, if there's too much empty space somewhere. So I'm going to bring in another long box that I'm going to use for like any notes or weekend to-dos. Most likely like weekend to-dos. If something doesn't get done, I can remember to do it over there. And I love these little weekend banners too. There's certain stickers that I just think are so cute and I have to use them. And one of them is the weekend banner. And then more habit tracker or water trackers. And then I'm going to do my habit trackers. I use the stickers over here. I think they look cuter than what's already there. I sized this one and then I white out the little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday headers on the side so I can paste this 3 times, because I have 3 habits that I like to track, and I forgot to copy and paste that one so I don't have to resize it again. And this box is perfectly sized for 3 of them. And then I'm looking for like a little decorative box I want to put in here, but I don't want it quite this big, so I'm going to resize it. I'm going to squish it kind of down. I think I'm going to just put a quote in there because I don't have that much stuff I'm going to put in the next week. Box, it'll fill up throughout the week, but I know it's not going to fill up like the whole way, so I wanted to put in something fun right there. And I used the little tag from the monthly kit to just kind of give it some layers. And then I'm going to bring in one of the checklists over here. And then I think I'm about done. I want to add a little header over that box I brought in. I'll make it about the same size as the one over there. If it's not right next to each other, I don't feel the need to make it like perfect. And then, so I'm done with my layout, and I want to show you guys a little trick I use to help with your handwriting, because I see this all the time on like planner forums and stuff like that. People talking about how their handwriting sucks once they try to write on the inside GoodNotes, and it does take some getting used to. So just know, like, as you practice and do it, you will get better at it. I don't have the most amazing handwriting, but I think it's pretty decent. And so what I do is I use the highlighter to create a straight line. I have it on the straight line setting, and then I start writing, and there's a couple different tips. This will help you keep your letters more uniform, because it's kind of hard to keep them straight and uniform on the iPad, and then also keep them kind of the same size. And then the other trick I have is start lifting up your pen. Make sure you're lifting up your pen before you move on to the next stroke, because it starts to look really messy if you don't. And that was a huge problem. Once I started making sure to lift up my pen more often than what I was doing before, my handwriting on my tablet looked significantly better and more like what it looks like in real life. But the pencil is so sensitive that it looked really messy when I wrote just the way I usually write with a pen. I also got a screen protector, like a matte screen protector, and that helped a ton too, because it gives it a little bit more texture to grab onto, and it doesn't feel as slippery. It feels more realistic. So then when I'm done with my list, I kind of created it in an area where there weren't any stickers, so it's easy to grab. I'm going to delete that highlight, and then I'm going to grab it all at the same time with my selector tool and resize it and bring it over to where I want. That way it's all straight and perfectly aligned, and you know, my OCD is happy that way. So that is this week's spread. I will hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.